Before I get started on this video, I just want to be honest. I've been having a bad day. Bro, what's going on? I thought I was speaking facts. How are people disagreeing with me, bro? I did my research. I worked hard on the video just for somebody to say that I'm not getting hired. But then I seen something that brightened my day. Assassin's Creed Shadows is #1 bestsellers in Japan. Now this one definitely put a smile on my face. All of you wannabe Asians talking that shit in my chat, explain this to me then. Because y'all told me that everyone hated this game. Y'all told me that there were no Asians in video games. I guess that the loudest crowd in the room was the smallest. And I got a question for y'all. How does it feel to be wrong? Because I can't relate. When I heard this wonderful news, I looked out the window. The sun was shining. I absolutely could not resist the urge to step outside to really appreciate this beautiful day. But it didn't take very long before I noticed something was not right. The birds stopped chirping and began to fly a different direction. The sun began to hide behind the clouds and the day became dark. I looked back down at my phone to realize that Ubisoft had won once again. The Ultimate Edition is getting more sales than the Standard Edition. And most importantly, he's gay! Here we go again. Today, I want to talk about a more important topic. These bum ass deals. Seriously though, Assassin's Creed already selling #1 is not a good thing at all. Our priorities in the gaming community is all the way messed up. We got idiots complaining about shit being woke, somebody being black, somebody being gay, somebody being a girl, when the real problem is right in front of our faces. This is why I believe that things are going to get worse before they get worser. We are in the dark ages of video games. And no pessimism, but I don't think it's going to get fixed. And this devastating problem consists of 3 main ingredients. The first one being that the prices are going up, the second one being that the games are getting worse, and the third one is the general audience being okay with it. Now, inflation, we all know that's nothing new. We've been living in a monopoly for years. We know that food is up, gas is up, bills are up, ice cream is up, pizza is $40, my Netflix bill went up, Disney Plus, I had to cancel that shit. All of these corporations have made it abundantly clear that all they really want to do is run our pockets. But if you thought that you were going to hop on the game to escape this goofy ass reality, I got news for you. Everybody is talking about these crazy Assassin's Creed Shadows prices, but honestly, this shit is nothing new. All of the most profitable and successful video game companies get away with the same shit every fucking time. And they like to make excuses for this, talking about the games are getting harder to make. They're not getting funner. You can go on the internet and find a bunch of people complaining about how video games nowadays just don't hit the same anymore. And I know exactly why. It's because there actually are no new games that come out these days. All of these new games are really just the same game, following the same formula every time because they know it works. Even the more critically acclaimed games of recent times are really just the combination of games that already exist. You see, back in the day, this wasn't the case. Back when most of these gaming development companies were hungry and had something to prove, it was the people who would actually benefit because of this. Every new game that we got our hands on felt like a fresh new experience. Because this successful formula that we see a lot of today wasn't invented back then. People were actually forced to come up with good ideas. But nowadays, that ambition, that drive to make something fresh comes like every blood moon. We used to be standing on top of marble floors, but now we gotta dig through all of the dirt, all of the mud, all of the fat, just to find that one diamond in the rough. At the end of the day, they can make any type of excuse for the price increase that they want. But best believe that that shit is not fooling nobody. One thing they often do to hide behind their nefarious greed is try to sell you these scammy ass deals. At first glance, you may look at these deals and be like, oh shit! But then you soon realize that most of these discounts are actually the prices that they're supposed to be anyways. Need for Speed, a game that came out in 2019, still $60. Lego games that came out in 2018, still $60. Stroke the... Bro, what the fuck? The fact that I'm even seeing these type of games speaks for itself. We really don't got shit to play for real. Don't let these deals deceive you. After a year or two, these prices are supposed to drop. And I'm just looking at PlayStation, but it's not just them. These game companies been on dick. I paid $60 for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. In 2021, the game had been out for 4 years already. I know that as a company, you're supposed to make a profit and match the return on investments, but after 2+ years, you gotta let that shit go. And that especially goes for these yearly releasers who got the best selling video games regardless. Like, your game had 300 days to be relevant. Why is it still full priced? Actually, scratch that question. Not only do I know exactly why, I know exactly how they get away with this every time. You see, just like Assassin's Creed, if you were to hop on the internet and look online to see what everyone is saying, you would automatically assume that everyone hates this game. But if we were to take a look at those sales, it wouldn't even make any sense. Why are people talking that shit, but at the same time still buying the game? Don't they know that money talks? It's because these loud keyboard specimens are actually the minority of video gamers. The actual majority of people that play games are people like this. And not just in the literal sense. Rather it be a little ass kid using their mother's credit card or a big one using their own. Gaming is an expensive hobby, so it would only make sense for the average gamer to have too much money to care. So while some of us may treat video games the same as some may look at a painting or read a novel, with the intentions of getting a unique experience and critiquing if it doesn't deliver, the masses of gamers, however, do not give a fuck. They not trying to get electrified. They trying to get pacified. We can make analysis and critique videos all we want about the increasing of prices and the lack of creativity. It still won't matter. As long as these fiends keep looking for a fix, there will always be a supplier to deliver. And unfortunately for us, they have pretty low standards. All they gotta do is keep giving gamers what they're familiar with and they're gonna eat that shit up. This is a multi-layered problem because the masses of consumers have different perspectives. We got little ass kids who think they playing games, but they're completely unaware that the game is playing them. You can catch them buying the wrong Call of Duty for full price, thinking that it's the new one, completely unaware that you could have got that cheaper elsewhere. They beg their mommies and daddies to buy it for them, and they asses don't play games, so they not gonna know better. But this is only one side of the 4-dimensional coin. And I'm pretty sure some of the people who subscribe to this BS are indeed aware of this fact. Some of us are already aware of the scams, the monetizations, the microtransactions, the price increases, but we're either too optimistic or have grown too much of a dependency on these games. And that even goes for myself. I gotta come clean. I still pay $40 for some damn pizza, knowing damn well that shit is a ripoff. But do I care? No. Am I still gonna buy it? Yes. And that's the same thing with these damn games. It doesn't even matter which part of the spectrum you're on. All of our money is going to end up in the same people's pockets. And these companies just sitting there in their offices planning and scheming all types of different ways to dig inside of ours. And we're just sitting there taking it. When I hear people like Tyler rage over the game and how much he's addicted to it, I do not be laughing. It's not funny. This is an actual issue that has been plaguing the gaming industry for years. And at this point, it seems like there's no way out. We know people not finna boycott, so the prices are going to keep going up and up and up until eventually the US dollar is equivalent to Indian rupees. And you may happen to be sitting here thinking, oh, you just complaining about the prices because you broke. Facts! I play video games because I get to do the stuff that I can't afford to do in real life. But if they want to start making these games the same price as a flight ticket, I'll just go visit Japan myself. I have abandoned all hope when it comes to these games. There is no silver lining. We're doomed. It's as simple as that. Sometimes I look at these games and I wonder Am I gonna pay full price just to play through this shit one time throughout the span of like 1 month just to never touch that shit again? Instead of it being something that you take with you for the rest of your life, video games have been watered down to something you mindlessly do to pass the time. In a way, I kind of envy most people who play games these days. I wish that I can play most of these games and genuinely feel like I've gotten my money's worth. But unfortunately, the reality is, games will be $80 in about 6 years. But don't worry, at least it's Pride Month. So I got some people saying that the video aged poorly because it has been announced that Yasuke will be a Homo sapien. But I feel like this information only got released to distract everybody from what Ubisoft really needs to release. Imagine pre-ordering a game and you don't even know what that shit look like.